Hey guys, it's Iblis here, the Baron's Finest, being exceptionally late on this, but I am uploading a Gear Chronicle deck profile. I meant to upload this a lot sooner once set 2 came out, but I've been doing a lot of testing with this deck, and I'm continuing to do testing. Set 4 for the States is right around the corner, but I figured it's going to be a while before I pick up all that stuff for this deck. I would at least show the build I have now that I've been pretty content with. Don't have a whole lot of an idea of how I'm going to be changing things other than maybe the G zone, but I figured it'd still be worth showing and possibly give people ideas for who've never played the deck and just give some insight, I guess. So to start off with, we play one Timepiece Draco Kid. It's the Counterboss 1 check top 5 starter. I'm not a fan of any of the other starters. I don't want to make my early game even weaker by having GB1 starters. Gunner Gear is okay. I kind of like the Gearhawk. I would not play the guy that comes out in the new set, but I feel like Timepiece is the best one just because it's a generic starter that, you know, gets your strides going, which is incredibly important in this deck. For triggers, we play not 4 criticals, but we play 7. And we do play the 4 Hearthrumps. Hearthrump makes the deck a lot more consistent. It gives the deck more options. It's the best crit that the deck could ask for. As for other triggers, we are playing 5 draw. Lucky Pied is a good card. If you want to, you could definitely drop the 5th draw for the 8th crit. I've always just been a personal fan of 7-5. It's player preference. It doesn't really fully matter. And then the last is for 4 heal because we don't want you to die. And that's the best way I can describe that. So as for our ones, we play 3 copies of Steam Breath Dragon. My personal philosophy is if you run 8 grade 3s, you run 3 copies of your Stride Fodder. If you run 7 grade 3s, then you run 4 copies of your Stride Fodder. Well, assuming it's like a Stride Break based deck, which Gear Chronicle is, because Chronojet Dragon. So I am running 8 grade 3s, so I chose to run 3 Steam Breath, 3 Meshy. It's a generically good card. I do like Meshy. I'm not sure how I feel about the new guy because I want to keep running Ruin Disposal, but I don't know if Bailiff or Bailey, I believe, is his new name in the States. I don't know, even though, like the one that gets you more Chrono Jets, essentially. I don't know how I feel about running it. Well, no, what am I saying? I don't know how I feel about him versus the Chrono Jet specific on Flipper, but I'll have to test. I'm going to test like a more Chrono Jet focused build. 3 Gearwolf. I think 4 is a little clumpy, but it's kind of like your Bruno clone of the deck. Every time something bounces to the bottom of their deck, he gets plus 3k at GB1. For PGGs, you do have, even though you have another unflipping mechanic, it's good to have PGGs. Plus, let's get real here, the Gear Ravens are commons, they're gross. And then the last one we play is 1 Giggy. Some people don't like Giggy in pre-GBT04 Gear Chronicle. I like it. I haven't had a whole lot of issues with it. It's my main target for Fate Rider. So, well, main target to get out. Like, I'll call like a draw or something and call it Giggy plus. For 2s, I'm currently only running 2 copies of Steam Maiden Ishin. I want to be bumping this up, but depending on how I approach the 2s, because there's also Prisoner Illy, and I still feel like he's a really good card because he's essentially free, and compared to Ishin, which is a GB1 and it needs to bounce something, so timing on it can be a little preemptive, but it comes down to preference. I'm not certain how I feel about it. I have to like test whether I still like Ruin Disposal or if I feel like Ruin Disposal doesn't need to stay, but that's entirely that's going to be post that set. I am running double Smoke Gear. I don't like getting rushed. I wanted to run 3 of this so badly, but I can't really get myself to find room for a 3rd. I don't really like running. I don't want to cut anything else because I guess for my last 2 I should mention it. I am running 4 Amber, but to go back to the Smoke Gear thing, I really like 10k Vanillas and Stride Break decks because I don't want to get early game rushed, especially in Gear Chronicle, where I feel like my weakest point in my game is early game. This deck is a terrible early game. That's definitely the problem with it. And 10k Vanillas kind of counter the early game rush, but I might just stay with 2. I mean, I just wish I could ride it a little bit more. I don't want to ride anything else, but you know, that's just how it is. And then the 4 Amber, the best G2 in the deck. I'm not a fan of Glimmer. I don't really like Glimmer as a card. My problem with Glimmer Breath is that, one, it specifically requires Chrono Jet, which I guess post set 4, you're more inclined to have a Chrono Jet, but still, and not to mention, like, it takes so long, it's only like a one-time shot. Amber can, in theory, go off more than once and consistently bounce. So, I like the Ambers. I feel like it's the best grade 2 in the deck. I still would not really want to be cutting it. And then as for the grade 3s, for our backup, we're playing the 4 Ruin Disposal. It's a good Legion. I don't really like any of the other grade 3s that Gears have. Bailey or Bailiff, or whatever his name is, might be replacing these, but I have to test that. And then the last grade 3s are the 4 copies of Chrono Jet, because Chrono Jet is the ace of the deck. You know, people need to remember that he has a GB2, but now they only remember it because, hey, next stage is a card, and next stage gets you into Chrono Jet's GB2 easy. But as for the strides, for, I guess, our basic ones, I like running 4, I like running it like this, so at least for the set, 1 Lost Age, 1 Pegasus, 1 Fate Rider, 1 Chronos Command. I feel like Chronos Command is gonna go post GBT04, but I'm not certain because I've been hearing like discussions on whether or not like it's good to be playing 3 unflipper, like Persona unflip strides, or Persona flip strides, excuse me. But I mean, I still like the other 3. Chronos Command is usually like who I G-assist if I have to G-assist. And, I don't know, like, I still like the card, but I'm iffy about playing it still post next set. I want something better. And then the last card for our G units are the 4 copies of Ragnarok. I am debating if I want to go 2 or 4 on this post next set. Part of me wants to say 4 just because, I mean, I have these and I've picked them up like when they were kind of up there in price. I don't even know what they are now at the time I'm recording this, but regardless, Ragnarok, it's your main win condition right now. The deck doesn't have a whole lot outside Ragnarok. But yeah, I'm wanting to say that's actually it for now, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. If you did, please be sure to leave me feedback and such. I would really like to hear it. You know, feedback gets me going. It does a lot of good just to hear it. If you have suggestions for post set 4, I'd actually like to hear those too, because I feel like definitely just coming up with ideas post set 4 is gonna be kind of hard. I feel like the options open up a lot more for this deck, which is something that I needed. And yeah, I was actually just shuffling and stalling a little bit for, you know, a little bit of a closing outro image. But yeah, if you guys have suggestions for what I can do for this, let me know. I am going to be going back to some Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profiles. I do have 2. I actually want to be uploading after I upload this one. I just want to upload this one right away because, you know, I want to upload it before it becomes irrelevant. But I think that's going to do it for now, guys. Thank you all for your support. Really sorry that content's weird. Stuff's been going on with me personally, so I haven't been the most active. And yeah, that's going to do it for now, guys. So until next time, peace.